Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for joining our session today, talking and covering deploying question to answer and WordPress to Azure Cloud. Uh, so first of all, again, just to give you background about that, our session will be recorded and we are now live on LinkedIn. And for people that they are joining from inside. So make sure that you understand that this session is recorded and will be posted on other social media. So if you don't like to be recorded, please leave the session and you can watch the recorded later. Okay, so let's go for our agenda today. We have a very comprehensive session about real demo. So first, we will get an overview about our frameworks or toolkits that we recently published on as an open source on GitHub. After that, we will get an overview or deeply talking about 3 demos that explain how to give or produce provision, testing, and pre-production environment on Azure using knowledge base and WordPress for both environments. Okay, so again, all our frameworks and toolkits are open source, which is published on GitHub. And these tools and toolkits are part of the community that we are developing to help automate several procedures and tasks for our community. And everything exists under the DevOps Visions organization. Okay, the first toolkit or automation framework. Question to answer is very famous knowledge base, which is for people that they don't know that it is very similar to Stack Overflow. So you can use question to answer to build the knowledge base for your company, your community, and it's an open source. So it's really great platform, and we are heavily using it for our knowledge base. All our information and knowledge base stored as a community stored on question to answer. So we develop a toolkit to automate several tasks for question to answer or this knowledge base. Like, for example, adding users, because sometimes we have many people joining our community. So if we want to add, let's say, hundreds of users or thousands of users, we can automate adding them or removing them. So this toolkit and framework will give you the ability to automate several tasks in no time. The same as well for the second platform, which is a learning platform based on WordPress. So the same here is also we building a toolkit and automation framework that again automating all several tasks, adding membership, assigning, settings or and many things. And the main idea here is both frameworks or toolkits based on you just give the framework a set of users in Excel file, users and the email. Even if you give them 1,000 users, the toolkit will iterate over the users and add them or removing them. So it's based on your request, So in this demo, we are going to see more about how to provision the environment. In order to develop the frameworks, you need first is to prepare a testing or pre-production environment so you can start testing or developing these frameworks. So the first step in our project is to show you and help you how to build testing or pre-production environment, and this is exactly what you are going to show. So the first demo, we are going to see how to prepare a LAMP server on Azure. The LAMP server here stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So how we are going to do that. And after that, we are going to use the question to answer to deploying the question to answer to the LAMP server. And after that, we will deploying WordPress with the learning management system to the same server. And this including also our data, which including all information and knowledge base and so on. And I have my colleague with me here will go through all of that demos. Yeah, so.
Okay, so I'll share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
So you can see it now, so, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So hello everyone. مرحب رجب, DevOps engineer and member of DevOps Visions community. We love to share our knowledge with others. So I'll be with you during the session for all demos. We have 3 demos, as Radwan mentioned. The first one, we will create or provision the environment on Azure and install Lambda stack. And then the second one, we are going to restore our question to answer application on this server. And then for the last demo will be for the WordPress. So let's start with the first one. I'll turn my camera off during the demos and will be back to you after that. So, here, before starting with our demos, let's navigate to our repos. We have 3 repos here. The first one for question to answer and WordPress, and the third is a common workspace hub. This repo common workspace hub, like it's a container for the shared resources and the guidelines, common guidelines, and common standard, common conventions. So if we navigate to here, let me here, technical guide. This is the first. This is the guide for the first demo. It include all the steps and the explanation for each command we will use during this demo. So let's get started with the demo in action. Here, this is my Azure portal. We have all this resource group, and this is the Cloud Shell. And we'll use the Cloud Shell to create our VM. The first step before creating any Azure resource is to create a resource group, which is a logical container for that contain all Azure resources. So this is the command I used, easy group create. This is the name of the resource group, and this is the location for the resource group. After creating the resource group, we need to create the VM. And this is the command easy VM create, and define the resource group. This is the resource group we already created here in the first step. And then this is the name for the VM, and the image we used Ubuntu 22.04, and define the admin username and then the admin password. It's running. It will take some time, maybe less than a minute, but here, if you can see here, we for the naming here for the resource group and the VM, we used a naming convention for all our resources. If we navigate back to the repo here, Common Workspace Hub, and navigate to standard and conventions here, you can find this file contain all the common convention and the standard we use for all projects, files, and resources, and so on. This is the repo and application, solution and project, and this is for Azure Cloud resources. We use this naming convention, which start by resource types in the workload, application, environment, Azure region, and instance. We follow this naming convention from Microsoft. You can find it here in the documentation. This is the resource divided, as I mentioned, resource type, workload, and so on. And if we navigate back to our Azure Cloud Shell here, you can see for the resource group here, It's start with RG, which is a resource type for the VM virtual machine, and then the application or workload, which in our case is Q2A. Then the environment, it's just a demo, so it's a temp, but in your case maybe test, pre-prod, production, or and so on. And this is the location, UK South in our case, and this is the instance type, and the same for the VM. And now the VM created successfully. This is the details for the VM. One of these details is public IP address. I will copy this value as we will use it later. And if we navigate here, just refresh to see the resource group. This is the resource group, temp, UK South, and this is the VM created successfully. And this is the IP address, and everything is fine. The next step for us is to open two ports. The first port is port 80 for HTTP traffic, and second one is an optional port, which is 3389 for RDP protocol. But before creating or opening this ports, if we navigate to network settings, we can see here there is no just this default allow SSH, no any other port open. So let's open the port 80 for this VM. So we can allow user to access the web server running on port 80. This is the command azvm open port, and define the port 80, and then define the resource group, and then the VM name. It will open this port. And also, we need to open RDP port as we are planning to connect to this VM using the RDP protocol. So I will open, it's an optional step. You may, in your case, not want to open this port. The same command, which is open the port and defining the port. This is the port for RDP connection. And here we provide the priority switch and define the priority for this rule or security rule. And be sure that priority not conflict with any other rules. So it will open this port. Let's navigate here and refresh to see the changes. Now we have two ports. This is the port 80 for HTTP, and this is the priority for this port, and this for RDP, and this is the priority that we defined, and this is the status for each rule. And we are done now here from the Cloud Shell. We have the VM, the resource group containing the VM, and then the port is opened for this VM. Now we are going to connect to this VM. I will open the Git bash and connect to this VM as we need to do some configuration and some installation in this VM. This is the command SSH, and this is the username that I set while creating the VM, and then add the public IP address of the VM. Will ask you, are you sure you wanted to continue? I'll type yes, and then asking for the password. Type the password that we set for this VM. And now I'm connecting to the VM here. This is the username, Rahab, and this is the VM name. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so the second step, as I mentioned, we open port for RDP connection. So we need to configure and install XRDP for remote desktop access. Again, it's an optional step, but we need it in our case. So to first to visualize things while demonstrating, and second, we need also to download some files inside this VM. So I will first update the package sudo apt update, which is apt, the package management for Ubuntu. And then we will install and configure XFCE, which is desktop environment, and XRDP for remote desktop access. This is the command to install the XFCE desktop environment on Ubuntu. It will take some time. So while configuring and installing, let's navigate back to our repo and see the standard and conventions. This is the standard we use for the structure of the folder inside all repos. This common and this question to answer and WordPress. Here /doc, and this is the standard, the practices and the guide, and also the src for the code directory, which contain app and infrastructure as code. By the way, this we are provisioning this server manually. We are planning to or we are working on provisioning it automate
Yes, the main
provisioning it.
idea now that we have the manual steps here. Next step is we are working on Terraform, which provision the environment and doing all the bash command that you are going to see in this demo as a part of GitHub action that fully automate all the process.
Yes. And this is the release note template for the release, our release note, the naming conventions we use here, Pascal, case, camel, and also we have convention for our issues, our PRs, and examples for, yes, this is an example for issue. This is the bug, feature, improvement, documentation, and also for the BR.
Yes, Rahab tried to give you a quick overview about the repo while the environment downloading and installing the.
Yeah, yes. Let's continue to install. This is
Yes, this is the small
now,
component. Yeah.
yes, now I'm installing XRDP and configure XRDP for remote desktop server.
During the installation, also, if anyone has any question, please don't hesitate to ask.
And this command to enable the XRDP surface. And also this command, this command is to add the XRDP user to this group SSL certificate, which it's yes, which ensure that the XRDP service has the necessary permission to use the SSL certificate. This is really important for enabling encrypted remote desktop protocol connection. After this, I use this command to tell the XRDP what desktop environment to use while when starting our session. I told it to use XFCE 4, which we already installed and configured. The last command here in configuring this remote desktop is to restart the XRDP service. And now we are ready to connect to this VM from remote desktop. But before connecting, let's install Firefox. As I mentioned, we need to download our application files and SQL database file. So we need to install Firefox or Google Chrome or any browser you would like. I'll use Firefox here, but yes, here I will install. While installing, let's connect to the machine.
While you're connecting to the machine, I will try to answer Abdel Malak Hinnawi about GitHub Action will be automating the process of provisioning the machine. If you are not familiar, Abdel Malak, GitHub Action is the same as Azure Pipeline. It will be just an automated CI/CD for provisioning the environment, not only for the changing the state file, but it's for the complete end-to-end automation. Now we have managed to install all the required packages to have a remote desktop to the provision Ubuntu machine, and now Firefox is being installed. So
Yes.
the next step is to start now preparing the LAMP server.
Yes, let's verify the installation of Firefox. Yes, and also we need to install, as we are going to download the zip or zip file. Let's
Yes.
install. Yes, let's install unrar or unzip. So I will install apt sudo apt install unrar just to confirm.
Again, all the
Just,
steps and commands exist in the guides, which is exist on the repo.
yes. Yeah, just we are preparing the VM for using for our needs. Now we need to install the LAMP server, which is LAMP Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. This is the command sudo apt update, and then sudo apt install LAMP server, and this dash y to confirm if any prompt ask for our confirmation.
This is for silent confirmation, yeah.
Yes. And again, it will take some time. Let's navigate to the repo here this is the guide we are following now. All the steps are documented here. This is the commands and also explanation for each command. Here, as you can see, we are now in this step, which is yes, installing LAMP stack. This step. After, let's take an overview for the upcoming command while this running. After installing the LAMP stack, so this is the machine ready now for hosting PHP for which is a question to answer application, and WordPress for our learning application. We after that we are going to secure MySQL installation, configure MySQL root user to set password for this user. So we need this step to in our upcoming demo to create users, additional users, and create databases and so on. And also here you can find this troubleshooting section, which we used to document all commands that we used to in some troubleshooting actions. So now LAMP server created successfully. Let's verify the installation by getting the version of the Apache. This is the version, and also MySQL, as we said, A for Apache, M for MySQL. This is the version for MySQL, and notice here that this V is capital letter, not small, like Apache and PHP. And this is the version for PHP. So this server, we installed the LAMP. The next step is to secure MySQL installation. Let's copy the command, and while running, why this step is necessary? This step is necessary to improve the security of our MySQL installation. It will guide us and ask for several security steps. Like here, it will ask you, would you like to set up validate password component? We'll type yes. It will ask you to enter the level of the password validation policy. There are 3 levels. Low level, which the password should, the length of the password should be greater than or equal A. The medium, the same, and another policies, and the strong, also another policy. We will, as it's a demo, just
Exactly.
um,
And usually you follow according to your organization policy for this matter.
yes, I I I typed or choose 0 for low, and then remove anonymous users. I'll type yes. Disallow root login remotely, and remove test databases and access to it. Reload privilege tables, and now we are done from the secure MySQL installation. Let's log into MySQL using the root user with blank password. Sudo MySQL. We are here in SQL. Let's update the user or alter user root user to set a password for this user. And we'll use this password in and this user in the upcoming demos, and you will get more clarification about this step. And let's exit from MySQL. And if we get the public IP address and try to access it here, yes, it's working fine. This is the default page for Apache, and it works. This is the first demo. We configured the VM, installed the LAMP on the VM, and this is our server is ready now to host our application, which leads us to the second demo to restore our Q2A or question to answer application on this server. Just a second.
Sure. If there
Okay.
anyone has any question, yeah.
Okay, the first step is to download our application and the database files. So let me get the link here.
Yes, this is for just downloading our backup to restore that on the new environment.
Yes.
Because this is we are trying to provision a pre-production environment, which including the data. Of course, in typical cases, you may would like to, masking the data and so on. In some cases, moving from production to pre-production.
Yes. Okay, it's downloading now. Let's open, download the folder, download the location, folder, here, downloaded successfully. The second step is to open the root directory of Apache. Let's open it here. File system. This is the root directory var www html. And we find here, this is the default web page that this is index.html.
Yeah.
Yes. So we need to After downloading, it's a zip file. We need to extract all files and copy the application file inside the root directory, and then complete our steps. So I will open the here. Some sometimes take sometimes.
Yeah. Why
We
we need
can
to
we
install?
can
Yeah.
yes, we can use the terminal of the VM itself. Yes, here we can use this terminal. Let's navigate to the location of the zip our application zip file, and then extract all files. That's why we downloaded the unrare in the first demo. Yes, it's extracted now. We have this application files, public HTML, inside this folder, and this is the database. Let's rename it to QA-backup, as we will use it later, just to be easy to use it. And here, after this, let's clean the web directory of the here, the Apache here. We removed this index file, and let's copy all the application files from public HTML folder inside this location. As you can see here, now we need to set ownership and permission, so to ensure the files are accessible by the web server. Okay, fine. Now, so this is for our application. We need to configure the database. So let's open a new terminal here to configure the database. And yes, we log in with root user and the password we set in the first demo, if you remember. Password. If we try to list all users, we have only the root user. As you can see, in this step, we need to create our database, create our user, set the password for this user, and then give this created user all the privilege to the created database. So let's create the user first. You can use the root, but here this is the user and this is the password. We need this configuration later while configure our application. If we select user again to see the user is created successfully, this is the created user. Now we need to create our database. Before creating, let's show databases. We have no databases, so let's create this database. I give it this name, question to answer. And if we show databases again, we have question to answer now. It's empty database. Let's grant all privilege to the created user on the created database, and apply these changes with flush command, flush privileges. Again, it's an empty database, so we need to import this SQL file. This is the database for our application or for our production. So we need to import this. I will change the database to my database question to answer, and then import the database. This is the command source, and define the database file location. It will again take some time. While it's importing, let's configuring the question to answer application. I will navigate to or let's no, what's the cd/var. Okay, we need, if we open here, this one of the files here is qa-config.php, which is the configuration file that contain the configuration for username, the password, the database, and we need to update this file to set our values for this pre-prod or this environment, for this testing environment. So I will use this command sudo nano, open the file using nano, and to amend it, I'll amend it and get back to you as it holds the.
Yes, while you amend it, we have a question here. Why we need to install desktop tool? Why not only use SSH? We explained that before. It's just for visualizing, so we can see what's happening on the screen. It's just for visualization, so we can see that. That's it.
Just a second.
Yeah, sure. Any other question, Wael? May I add something as well? Yes, Abdelmalek.
Sorry, may I use the mic as well?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for this demo. Abdelmoin, one of the use cases that I usually get is sometimes developers needs to use an external VM as their developing environments, something similar to the VDI technology, where they remote access to an instance on the cloud, so they could like install their VS Code and do the developing over there, especially if they're using some third parties, APIs, or any services that can't use them on their local device. So yeah, I get this a lot. Need to set up a development environment, and usually I do the exact same process that Rehab is doing right now with the X service enabled as well. So yeah.
Thank you for your addition. Thank you, Abdelmalek.
Okay, thank you. Now I have set the new configuration for username, password, and the database name. I will save. Just confirmation that yes, everything fine. Let's see the database. It's imported successfully, and now we are done of restoring the Q2A. We need to just test it. Hope everything working fine. Yes.
Can you please, Rahab, take the URL and just share it here so people also here attending they can open.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, let's also log in just to confirm everything working as expected, and that's it for this question to answer, storing question to answer. This is the second demo. The third demo, we are going to restoring the WordPress learning WordPress application. By the way, before continue to the third demo, all the steps, you can find all the steps for the question to answer here under this repo, docs, here technical guides, and this is all the steps and the explanation to restore the Q2A. Let's continue with WordPress. Let's exit, or let's.
Yes, let's delete the database as well, Rahab.
Yeah, I will create a new one, another one. So
yeah.
Okay. Before we need to again to download the platform or the application file and the database, SQL database. Okay, if we here, this is the file. Let's open terminal from here just to save time. And let's extract the file. You will see that there are common steps between these two demos. We download the file, then extracted all. If we open here, you can find this public HTML, which contain the application files, like the Q2A, and also we have this SQL backup SQL file. Let's rename it as well. And now let's remove or clean the
root of the Apache.
Yes.
Yes, because we are going to replace question to answer with the WordPress, so we are going to delete all the files in the root of the Apache. Yes, we can create another virtual. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Instead of creating another VM, it's just a demo and just save time. We will replace all these files with the new application. The same. Let's copy the content of the public HTML to this location. This is a command here. Let's copy everything. Also, we need to adjust the permission and the ownership to ensure the web server can access the files. Also, this is for the directory and this is for the files. While this, let's configure our database. The same if we list all users, connect to database and list all users. And we need to create a new user for our new WordPress application. So if we select all users, you can find now this is the user for the Q2A. You can delete it, but just for time. And this is for our WordPress. And also, let's check the database and create our this is a question to answer. Let's create the new database for WordPress. Let's check databases to confirm that it's created successfully. This is a WordPress. And again, let's grant all privilege to this user on this database and apply these changes with the flush privilege command. Okay.
Yes.
We need also to to import. It's an empty database. Let's change the database to the newly created one, and let's import the database using the source and the location of this backup file. We're finished from here. Again, let me just a second.
Yes, now we have the application files on the Apache. We have the database imported. Just we are going to have some configuration and install some extensions, which is required for the WordPress, which as we're going to see.
Yes. While we are in database, we need to update this table web options to set the option value to our public IP address for our server, where option name site URL, and we need also the same command for the option name home.
And to just to give a quick overview for people that they are not familiar with WordPress, WordPress has two values inside the database regarding the URL of the WordPress. So we running this command will just update two records in the database with the new IP address.
Yes, this is the second record for option value where option name is home. And we are done from the SQL database for configuring MySQL. Let's configure the application. The same for Q2A. We have here web-config file. Yes, this is the file, configuration files. We need to update to set our new values for the user, database, and password. Let's open it using Nano, and I will amend it and get back again to you.
Yes, exactly. So while she amended, so as you can see now, we install the database, restoring all the backup, and now she's configuring the connection string with the database name and the password in the config file.
Yes. Also, we have all this instruction and the guide.
Yes. We have, as we mentioned, we have two repos, one for WordPress and one for question to answer, and we have common repo for both of them, which is including all the common instructions that can work for them.
Yes. Just okay, I finished. Let's get back again here. Yes, here I set the database name for the name we used to while creating this database, and then the database user and the password for database. Let's exit and save. Yes, Control X. Yes. If we navigate back here to our folder, we have here this folder which include all plugins or installed the plugins for our application. We have a plugin here that we need to delete it. We don't, which is Object Cache Pro. We will delete it here or remove it, or remove it. And then, yes, our application also includes the master study LMS plugin. So we need to install this extension, PHP extension, which is necessary for this plugin. MB string extension.
Yeah.
Yes. The second step is to configure Apache. So let's enable.
Yes, because WordPress using rewriting URL, so we need to configure Apache for enable the rewriting module.
Yes, we
inside
enabled
the root. Yeah.
Yes, we enabled this module using this command sudo this module, and then restart the Apache after this enabling. And also we need to open the Apache configuration file using Nano to edit and ensure this configuration here. You can install Visual Studio Code and use it, but just
Exactly.
for just for saving time.
This is exactly what that Abdelmalek Hinnawi is mentioned.
Yes. Yes, here we just here to just a second and I will explain what I'm doing. Okay. Yes, here what I'm doing here is to just allow Apache to override settings with .htaccess files. So I amended this section to here allow override all and require all granted. Let's restart the Apache after this changes. We have another step, which is installing WordPress CLI. We'll use it in the upcoming step. So I download the WordPress CLI. And just to confirm or verify that the installation, what happened, couldn't open, permission denied. Just a second.
Yeah, sure. The main idea here, the WordPress CLI is a command line tool that we are going to use so we can override and change the values with the new URL or the new IP that configured for this machine.
We have, yes, we have an, what happened? Yes, okay, we just need to type sudo.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the installation, verifying the installation of this CLI tool. Let's make this executable and move it.
Yeah, so what we are going to use now is WordPress CLI to change all the old URL with the new IP address, which is include around 1,000 of a change. I think it will display the list of the changes.
Yes. Yes, in the next step we will see this. It's just a tool, we need to use it.
You just need to navigate to the virtual directory on HTML, perhaps.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, var HTML, yeah.
Something here. Just a second. Let's open a new terminal and see.
Yes, it's better. I think the best option is to navigate to the HTML directory and then start installing the CLI, make sure the verification of the CLI and so on.
Yes, installing inside here, this directory.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's. Yes, failure writing output destination permission denied.
Yes, this is for using sudo, but yeah, that's fine. You can download it here and we can delete it later from here even.
You know, I did this step before, but I don't know what happened. Okay, so
Yes, this is the demo, the live
yes.
demo.
Yes. uh, uh,
Okay. So now changing the permission. That's
okay, that's fine. Let's move it. Yes, fine. Let's try to replace all URL. Just replacing the URL with our new public IP address of the VM.
yes.
So this CLI tool, search and replace the URL of the production site to the public IP address.
This is including all tables inside the database. Yeah.
Yes, and here, as you can see, this is the number of the changes.
And I think also there is a total of the number of the changes.
Yes,
291
here.
replacement. Yeah.
Okay, so let's clear the WordPress cache by flush.
Yeah. Let's double flush.
Yes.
Yes, caching is a
double
real problem. Yeah.
double check. This is also this step is an optional. We just adjust the plugin permission, plugin folder here permission. So if we need to delete or deactivate or delete or any plugins from the admin panel, so I will amend the permission and ownership for this folder. And I think that's it. Let's try to I think so.
Yeah.
Let's try to open it in a guest and just for caching or
Yeah.
yes, working. This is the for user or the home page. Let's open it as admin to just double check, or that's enough.
Yeah, just give us a quick overview from the admin side,
Yes,
including all
just
the
I will show the plugins section and why I adjust the plugin permission folder. Here, this is a site URL change detected. It will ask you to update the domain and reactivate all service. And here from plugins, yes, if we need to delete this plugin, yes, we can delete it from admin here as we adjust this permission. You can delete all or deactivate all plugins that you would like to delete from admin here. And let's refresh here as a user, logged in admin user to see it's logged in. This is the home page. This is, let's open the dashboard. This is the dashboard.
Show us all the courses, the list and everything.
Okay, open the courses.
Yeah, so everything is, working fine.
Yes, this is
great.
the courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, working fine. And that's it for the third demo. And
yeah, thank you so much, Rahab, for this great demo. Again, the main idea is to just give the people idea here is we are developing this toolkit or framework to have automation for question to answer and for WordPress learning. And the main idea before we start, going deep into this framework, we saw that the best option is to help and give you a way to how to provision a testing or pre-production environment so you can use the testing framework. So for example, now you can very quickly provision your testing environment and start downloading the framework and start, enjoying running the framework on the toolkit so you can use it, And of course, even if you don't have a VM on Azure or the cloud, you can use that on a local VM machine. With your application and so on. Okay, so is any questions here? Anyone would like to ask any question?
Just I would like to
Sure.
confirm that we restoring our production application. You can start by a newly version of question to answer or WordPress application. It's the same steps, just files and downloading the latest version of the Q2A or the WordPress and then follow the same steps.
Yeah, exactly.
And
okay. Yeah,
sorry, yes, for the WordPress, we have the same guide inside the WordPress repo, and you can find all the steps as the Q2A answer.
Yes, exactly. As we mentioned, we have a common repo, which including all the common steps and a separate repo for each separate steps based on the platform. And we have two frameworks, one for each platform that automated several. And again, this is an open source. You are very welcome to contribute or, raising a pull request or maybe fixing a bug or finding a bug. So we really appreciate your contribution. Okay, that's great. Any question? Anyone has any question from outside or from inside? People attending the meeting inside or outside? Okay, it seems no. So in this case, I would like to thank everyone for attending this meeting and this session. And again, start, following the GitHub repo and stay tuned for the new coming features and the sessions. Thank you.